Every now and then you'll turn them on and one is like pointing directly at me.
Good?
Tom's on the way.
Do you want me to wait?
Nope.
Okay.
He said, I know enough about cupping. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, cupping therapy, that's what we'll talk about today. And obviously this is how excited I am to give this presentation. Cupping came into the world of our view, like American view, this past summer at the Rio Olympics when Michael Phelps had these marks all over the place. Articles out there where, was he sleeping on his medals again? Stuff like that. So stuff came out about the cupping. All right, so even though we just learned about it in America kind of deal recently, it's actually been around for a really long time. So it's an ancient Chinese remedy that is most popular, but it was actually all the way back into medical books back in the 1500s BC. Chinese would use it for energy and the qi of someone, and then even Hippocrates used it in his books, and he was a fan of it. And massage cupping, which I'll talk about what that is later, came into our view in the 1800s. So there's a lot of different types of cupping, which was interesting because I didn't know this ahead of time. There's wet cupping, also bloodletting, which basically they make an incision and then they have the same technique as a dry cup, but it brings the blood out of that area. So instead of it pooling and making a bruise, it pulls the blood out, which is called bloodletting or wet cupping. Then there's dry cupping, which is seen in this picture. This is actually a picture of me, so don't mind the tan lines. That was post-summer. Dry cupping, they just lubricate the edge, suck it on there, pull the suction, the vacuum, and keep it on there for a few minutes. Fire cupping, the way they get the suction is they put the fire, warm up the cup, quick put it on the skin, and the negative pressure and the oxygen brings the skin into it. Massage cupping is taking the same idea as dry cupping, but they massage it over a large area. So, like when you take a vacuum on your skin and pull it across kind of deal. It's that kind of idea. And then flash cupping, you suction to an area really quickly. So it's on there for a few seconds, pull it off, next section kind of deal. All right, so I kind of briefly touched on how to cup, but there's different, so the fire, you do that, and then with the suction cupping, there's this mechanism where they put the cup on there and then pull the thing, and it pulls the pressure out. And you leave it on there for about 5 to 15 minutes, and then pull it off, and later it leaves the bruises because the blood vessels in that area have been broken. Hello? I understand why it works sometimes. All right, so the reasons you would use cupping are for the ones shown above. A lot of times they're just used, like in the Olympics, they used it for muscle soreness. My traps kind of hurt, put some cupping on there. But they've shown studies and stuff that it works with cancer and facial paralysis. Those seemed a little far-fetched for me, but I think they said it worked.
Facial paralysis being like Bell's palsy?
Yeah. Okay, I really don't get why this isn't working. Alright, so the reason you would do cupping is for the benefits. Pain reduction, they said that pulling the blood to that area gets rid of the toxins, new blood rushes to the area, gets the body circulating. Like I had said earlier, the Chinese use it for the energy and the qi in the room, and then to recirculate the blood. And the biggest one that I've seen a positive with is muscle spasms, to just like basically what we do with stim where it sparks the area and it's like, oh, okay, so they fix the muscle spasm with that. Okay.
Is did the switch get turned off by chance?
It might have.
There's a little switch on the side there that might have been turned off. The battery's dead.
I can't even see.
Let me see real quick.
No, the battery's dead.
Yeah.
So it was still on. Okay, so side effects. The biggest one that you can see as a clinician or even as a common person is the bruising, which is why Michael Phelps had all the bruises during his races this summer. The other ones that could come into effect is skin irritation, or the burns from the fire cupping, and infection from the wet cupping when they use pour needles or whatever to make the insertions. So the biggest thing that was interesting to me was this past year, 2016, South Korea actually had a case where they did a cupping and it burst a major artery. It was like, whoops, that's not supposed to happen. Then there's other literature reviews and stuff. This problem with these studies is there's not a large sample size. And so the 2012 literature review took 135 reports, and they put it all together, and they came up with that the conclusion was good, but it was combined with other treatments. So maybe this person got cupping and heat or stuff like that, but there was 135 of them. They also had the Ukraine study, which was 24 subjects. This one they wanted to do with the cancer, the natural killing cells, and they saw that it was a positive with the immune system, but there was only 23 subjects, so it's kind of hard to draw conclusions with that. Same kind of goes with the Taiwan, which was 60 subjects, and that one they focused only on the neck and the shoulder pain, and they saw pain reduction with that, with just cupping. So science isn't quite sure, which is crazy to me because it's been around for so long. How can they not have scientific proof? But they're thinking it's kind of the pseudoscience, the same idea with like kinesio tape and stuff like that. So the athletes in the Olympics are saying, this is working, this is the best thing I've ever used, where science like, we only have a few subjects here and there to like actually prove it. So maybe they're thinking the placebo effect is what's making cupping so great for everybody. Also with the Olympics, now that it's been such a thing, they're looking in, is it the same as blood doping? Is it the same as altitude chambers and stuff like that? So in the next couple of years, I'm sure there'll be a lot more studies on that end of it. So who can give a treatment? Massage therapists, acupuncturists, sports therapists, pretty much anybody can do it because it's not really rocket science. You pull the lever and keep it on there. However, what they like to look for is someone who's licensed in Chinese medicine because it's an ancient Chinese remedy. Yeah, that's pretty much it with that. So, Michael Phelps and I say thanks for watching. And here's my references. Any questions?
Is there any data out there in terms of how it's reimbursed that you found?
What do you mean?
If we did cupping here at clinic,
Oh,
reimbursement, payment from insurance companies accept it.
yeah, I'm actually,
Modality.
I didn't find any studies specifically on that, but I'm sure if it's becoming more popular in America, that future studies would get into that. But nothing that I found currently.
I've seen people do it, but it's more like cash payments.
Yeah.
Actually, my sister-in-law has done that. She's an acupuncturist.
Just to get paid for it?
I think, like Tom said, it's more cash.
Just whatever, yeah.
Oh yeah, all the acupuncture I know is cash based. There's probably not enough evidence yet for PTs to get paid for it. It's even like, it's probably still one of those like driving things and scope or something.
Do you or anyone you know, have you had experience with getting cupped?
That was the picture of me on here.
Alright,
I'll go
so
back.
did it help?
Who did it?
It did help. So here's the thing. Over the summer, we work with the football teams, and we call it the 10-gallon challenge. So we're always lifting 10 gallons up on a thing. It's like, my traps are really sore. So a friend of mine had the cups. Was like, hey, want to try this out? Yeah, sure. So tried it out. Within like a day or two, my traps started feeling better. Was that because I stopped lifting so many 10 gallons or whatever? So personally, I'd like to try it again on another time, but I had positive results from that one time.
Did your friend get like certified in it or just?
He worked with the University of Miami, and they did it down there, and then he came back, and so I don't know if he was officially certified, but he worked with the team that did do cupping.
Oh, okay.
So So he has his own kit and everything. There's like different sizes depending on the treatment area you choose.
So what's the price of the kit?
Ooh, good question. Did not look that up, so I'll get back to you on that.
Because I mean, like, you hear a lot about instrument-assisted stuff this year.
Right.
For like $1,000. for
Yeah.
that stuff, so
Or like
I'd
the
be
tendon
curious.
scraping
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'll look up, I know where you can get one. Let's see what it is right now.
eBay.
This one is AccuZone. That's what the brand is.
Okay. Guys, have any other questions?
Cool.
Thank you.
No problem.
He's only gonna get $43.
Well, 43 is not bad.
Looks like you get 2 big ones, 2 medium, and 2 small.